Born as Winston Foster, we know him as Yellowman. Then we crowned him King of the dancehall, King Yellowman. Today, I have the pleasure, the great pleasure of speaking with none other than King Yellowman. Listen as he shares his life's journey from being poor to recognizing fame, to being tested, to being that testimony of faith. This is designed to inspire with your host, Charlene Clark Cura. But when your song them come on, I remember I had to hide to listen because I was a child, baby, but my parents love
same thing when the Prime Minister
say.
No
man, me hide. I had to hide because but this is a tune that I said I go sing because you're always a DJ for me. I'm gonna get the opportunity for DJ one of your tune for you, may I, sir? Alright, so here to know. God, give me 2 foot and 2 hand. Make me with a head, make me with a bottom. And when me tired, I eat me sit down pan. Man, I work experiment pan man bottom. Man, I use them turn injection.
remember that
that you did on the stage when they did the hard way.
Humorous.
King Yellowman, pleasure, and first and foremost, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to sit and talk with you. It's my pleasure being here, and it's really an honor to sit down in the great company, your company, the King of Dancehall. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so we want to talk about the beginning of your journey. And we're sharing some stories about Yellowman and how he started and how the journey started and how you stood on the path. So share with us your journey as a child growing up before music and how that journey was for you.
First of all, my journey starts from find me shopping bag on the street sidewalk.
Yes.
So, normally you don't know where it is when there's a little, because that was a little tiny baby, Yellowman. But growing up, I find myself in Maxfield Park, children home. That is one of the orphanage home in West Kingston. Then after that, just growing in Maxfield Park children home till I leave from there to another orphanage home called Swift Person.
Okay. And that's in Kingston as well?
No, that is in St. Mary.
That's in St. Mary?
Highgate.
Okay.
St. Mary. And go some years there after that, Alpha Boy School.
But let me go back to what you said. You said you were found in a bag, a little baby.
Yeah, man, little baby. That never start. Wow, I don't even know how breast taste in time.
Right.
Tiny little Yellowman.
Okay. And I know you said Yellowman. Was Yellowman the name that was
No, them always call him a white man.
Okay, so it was white man.
Yeah, when we were in the Alpha Boy School and Maxfield Park, 6%. Right through them white man
Changed to Yellowman. What was it like growing up in the homes? You moved from Maxfield, home for boys, you said, and then Swift.
Maxfield is a children's home we are boys and girls.
Okay. What was it like growing up in the home? So I take it that you don't know mother and father.
No, I don't know nobody.
Right.
Father, brother, sister, auntie,
Right.
uncle,
Right.
until some siblings. When we break out in the music thing, you have siblings.
Coming.
You know, it passed by time having a family, so when them come, we just say, yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right. Because at the time
Because we get used to the alone now. You know?
Right. When you needed the family structure,
Right.
you didn't have it.
No, we never have it.
How Alpha Boys? What was it like there for you?
Well, we go through the same thing. Every year we go through the same thing.
And that was?
You know, being scorned, discriminated, called a lot of names. You know, and Oliver, Molly, and you know, a lot of things them Oliver blame, you know, because me was the only person who looked like this as a albino. When the staff come,
Right.
so all of them things that we go through.
So growing up, it was a lot of bullying because you are an albino.
Yeah, but me never healed to the bullying because there was a rough little, you know, rough little white man,
Growing
what
up.
they used to call me.
Right. Did they even understand albinism?
No,
back then?
because me never know it name albinism. They would know about what them call me.
Right.
You know, like Dundus. Because back in the days, that's what they used to call Dundus. And Malata, Red Boy, you know.
And did it ever bother you? I know you said that you were rough, but in your quiet moment, did it ever bother you? Have you ever wondered why why this is happening to you?
No, not really, you know. In some point in time, you know, we feel that way, you know, because it was me alone and pick on,
Right.
you know, and even when we go to the lunch table, you know, other children get up and leave me alone there, you know, like them scarred me.
Right.
And even when people come, parents come to Maxisburg, children come from all over the world to adopt children. You know, they just look on me and pass me and adopt other children.
Right.
So me left alone,
Right.
you know.
Was there anyone who was close to you who would guide you, motivate you, give you that strength when you needed it?
No, but you know, you have other little children who take on to me,
Right.
you know, because we did look different from everybody, you know. I have other little children who find a little sympathy, but them still trouble me, you know.
Right.
Them still take side with the other children them too, you know.
Right. But then, from an early age, though, you always had a love for music.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So during this time, you were.
No, music never in my thought because I was a little bit of baby,
Right.
you know, growing.
Right.
Because in Maxim Park, the junior side and you have the senior side.
Right.
So I was in the junior side till then we go to the senior side.
Right, right.
You know.
So tell me, how did you transition out of being bullied, being scorned, being, name called? How do you transition out of that into music, into understanding that you have a purpose?
When I started to know that I can get myself together is when I started listening to other music.
Right. And this was about what age?
Really and truly, those times I never think about age.
Okay.
I just know that I'm growing.
Right.
But them time, I don't know
age.
I don't even think about age,
Right.
Because I don't even start go school them time. So numbers and them things,
Right. So you're saying now you started listening to other music?
Yeah, man. We started listening to the old time music. Back in the days, because them days you only have radio fusion. You never have no other radio but radio fusion, JBC, RGR. So Sunday you used to hear the old R&B them.
Right.
So me grow up and listen to them, and me grow up and listen to the earlier reggae them.
Right.
Like Scan, Rocksteady, reggae, studio one,
Right. And that directed your love for music into,
and then because they find out that they have the talent, but many different talents.
Right.
Because we used to be a gymnast.
Okay.
In Alpha Boys School.
Right.
We used to play football, the Alpha, So we used to play center forward,
Right.
So I used to get joke with the children.
So you did a little bit of comedy as well.
Yeah, so talented, multi-talented. And because this talent hand down to me by the hands of the Almighty. Because everything we do is natural.
Right.
Talented.
Right.
Talent-wise. Because I don't write song. I just hear it. Just put something to it.
Okay, I have a question to that when we get there.
Yeah.
Alright, so you now have listening to music and developing your love for music. Tell me a little bit about that. Or how did you transition into becoming an artist?
Yeah, when I'm growing up with the children them around me, I used to sing them songs for the children them too.
Right.
The other children them around me. So they used to get around me. So that is when we start saying the love start coming around me.
When you started doing music?
Yeah, when we start singing for the children them,
Right.
Yeah, because other children they love music and fascinated when we start singing.
Right.
They don't know because of me alone in the school, look down here,
Right.
So, that's when we see the love coming,
Was there anybody who kind of helped you to move on or continue that path?
No, when we start listening to music, I'm inspired by music. R&B music and rocksteady and reggae and when we go, me I listen Bob, me I listen Peter Touch, me I listen, the Wheelers, which is Bob Peter and the girl, and me I listen, Paragon with John Wayne, and more music.
Right, but your music, I hear you, but your music was completely different.
Because we start listening to Daddy Uri and Prince Jasmo, because back in the days, music it wasn't like how you see it, because they never used to DJ never used to recording music.
Oh, they would do it live, just on spot.
Yeah, we never record music. It's up with the singer them.
Oh.
Because a lot of people never know that it's a singing music or dancehall music in a dance. Because we as DJ, we used to assign to a sound system.
Oh.
Like you have Yellowman assigned to Aces International. You have Brigadier General with Jallo, Rankin Java with King Atana, which is socialist roots. With Sterofonic, you have Stitcher with all those Stitcher come in the
later part.
Yeah, my later part.
Right, because I remember
Papa San with
Stitchy and Admiral Bailey.
Yeah, Admiral Bailey did assign to Jammins.
Right.
Stitchy, Stereo One.
Right.
You have Ray Symbolic with Rankin Joe, Lone Ranger with Soul to Soul. Ringo with Gemini, Welton Irie with Virgo. I have Ninja Man, I have people like Josie Uri, Charles Chaplin with Sterograph.
Right.
You have Papa Shan with Creation.
So each DJ will be assigned to a song. So dancehall music was really the singing music.
Right, because when we used to do, because we used to select ourselves to although the song have selector.
Oh, okay.
But we used to select too.
Okay, so you had to have other talents as well, not just to DJ on the mic, but to select as well.
Yeah, we select, like, we play a selection of Dennis Brown,
right.
A selection of Sugar Minor, a selection of Paragons. And the list goes on. Yeah, because when we play a selection of Dennis Brown, every selection of Dennis Brown will play. So we DJ for the version.
Now recognize a love for music, into music, doing your music, singing for the children, and recognize that now you're getting some love because they like what you do. So now it's not as much. It grow up on you, the music, and you're not being bullied as you used to before, because now they're recognizing your talent.
The children they kind of start look up to me as a, like when they were feel good. You know, them ask if you sing a song for them. So, would I sing a Dennis Brown or Delroy Wilson or a Foxton or Sam Cooke, you know?
Right, right. So from that, tell me about the Tastee talent, because you entered the Tastee talent show in Jamaica, a show that would identify upcoming talents. Tell me about your entry, the Tastee talent.
Well, after we leave Maxine Park, children home, then we go sit for stay, couple years or so, because you know, at a certain age, you have to leave from that school, you know, because at a certain age, you have to leave from Maxine Park to sit for stay. Then you spend a couple years, so then you
move on again.
Move on, you grow up. So you move to Alpha Boy School.
Right.
Then after Alpha Boy School, we end up in a Eventide home.
Eventide?
Yeah, Eventide.
Eventide home.
Yeah, like you just say, the time is now.
Right.
Yeah, time, you know?
Right.
Eventide home. That's where you met. Ejected by family.
Oh, okay.
You know? So, me grow up in stadium, you know? You got the 16. You got the teens. So, I moved from, because nobody don't want me, because people come and they sister, they nuts, bring parents
Who wanted to adopt
people.
Right.
So,
and they pass you by.
yeah, so you never get adopted or so growing up and growing more than up and can't find out about which is a government facility.
Right.
Just like Maxine Park and
Swift Purcell. Right.
But Alpha Boy School was a Catholic.
Okay. So, Tastee talent, you entered. How did you go about entering Tastee talent show?
Well, it's a advertisement. And when I hear that you go go there, get a farm, fill out the farm, and leave the farm. But many people, but we don't know why they pick me. We don't know they look at me different than them. They really don't believe that people like me, like albino people like me would have their entertainer, you know?
Right.
So they don't really believe. Just like when we start to shoot on them eject me, run me home. You know? So we never know they would have picked me. So I leave the farm and just leave.
Right.
And then they say somebody at the evening time will say them get a call that he must come and Tastee.
Right.
So when we go there, so then we never do the rehearsal. At least me never do the rehearsal. I don't know.
Others did. Right.
You know, Nadine did that on it too.
That's Nadine Sutherland.
Right, and you have other artists like Paul Blake. You know Paul Blake?
Yes.
get flat.
You might know public. Right. So you entered and they called you back for performance.
Yeah, they called me for the contest. Yeah.
Right. Tell us a little bit about the contest. How was it for you? First and foremost, how did you feel? Because you said that you didn't know that they would have selected you. You just applied. How did you feel when you got that call that you were selected and you need to come and compete?
No, them time they are worried, you know?
Right.
Because for my type of people have been, you know. What kind is we have to hide and call them look down for me, but me as a man being I never used to hide.
Right.
Me did so brave, but me did nervous to go and I show them.
Right.
Me did not worry because I'm afraid they're going to laugh off me and you know
right. Even though you were used to that kind of behavior because that's how people treated you growing up.
Right, that's the reason why I don't make it stop me from
participating,
you know.
So on the day when you performed, do you remember your performance and how it was received?
No, they don't see a good man. Great. I'm not even with that time there, but I think them girl doing it because she was a little younger than me, a baby girl, you know?
Right.
So, you know, when we never have a problem with that.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we did come second.
Right.
You know.
But the show did a lot for you though, because after that you took off.
After that everything looked right because even before that we go medic studio. Jamming, then turn away. Joe gives, then turn away. RG, then turn away. Channel 1, then turn away. We almost every shooter in Jamaica. Turn away, you know? So, it is hard for me coming out the music.
But after the Tastee talent show, when you got your exposure, it was easier for you.
Yeah, because people start talking now. Say, yeah, why you could do this boy? You know? I saw you know, I saw come Jojo coming now.
Right.
Jojo every lad. Because he see the talent.
Right.
Because he start coming to dance, the man.
See your talent.
Yeah, you know.
So, how did you get the name Yellowman? Because remember, it was white man.
You know the street.
Okay, so that was after.
Yeah, when they are even died over. Even died over, then we start up on the road because when we are boxing for 6% alpha, nobody can go outside.
Right.
Go on the road.
Right, you have to stay locked in.
You have to, you know, you're locked in. So, even that was, you could have gone.
Because at that time you were older now. That was right.
Yeah.
Right. And so.
Yeah, but they used to stop people from the people that couldn't come out neither.
Right.
You know, because it was a government
institution.
Yeah, so they used to stop with and go. But what we used to do is sing for the security at the gate and let me through. So
you sing for everybody and let you through.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so now
so when we are coming,
when we are come
home back now, We never used to walk through the front gate.
Oh.
We walk through the cemetery.
Oh. Oh.
You know?
Okay. So you sing to go out and you come through the cemetery to go.
Yeah, because we don't want like any problem with the security. Like they did so good, you know?
Right,
to
right,
me, you know?
right.
But we don't remember when we were born.
Alright, so Tastee Talent and Yellowman is now known, and you're doing your music, and you find out now that the bullyism is now turned into admiration. Right. Tell me about now Yellowman, the artist. We don't reach the king of dancehall yet, the artist. Tell me about that journey.
Even though we turn into an artist after the sound system thing, you know, because me start recording, because me start get popular with the recording thing though, so because we don't marry in the morning, suppose I was mad over me, we can make me dance one, because what John used to do, whenever a dancer keep with me, he come,
right.
and he listen, him there the dance. Sometimes they never know say him there the dance. After the dance, no one would have said, there's something there, and I want them one,
right.
You do, you know? So I don't, so we do them something.
So Zungu 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 Zeng, very long title. Mad Over Me, Who Can Make the Dance From? All those songs, songs you did just by virtue of listening to a rhythm and vibing on the rhythm.
Yeah, no writing.
No writing of the written of the songs.
No.
How did that fame during that time now from and you give credence to the term from rags to riches, you know, based on how you grew up.
No riches.
No riches. No, it wasn't riches still.
Yeah, because I know you're not rich.
I know you're not rich, alright. So for fame.
I'm the producer, but we talk about it.
Yes. So from there to the fame now where you're now well received, your songs are out because you know you're doing good lyrics and people are know and you're getting shows and now you're going to the studio. How did you handle that? How did that work for you now in terms of being now in the spotlight?
Well, next time they show them the way that come here.
Okay.
Because next time they recording and popular music, so they only the little ghetto show them. They used to do. So now that they record them and get number one and chart music.
Right.
And popular. So the song snatch them start coming.
Okay.
You understand? And they Sting on me.
Right, because I remember some of your performances at Sting. No, I didn't go, but you know, those times they had the VCR and cassette. And my dad used to record them and we used to watch them. Right.
Tape on cassette.
Right. So, you know, we used to watch those. I remember seeing you performed with, on stage, it was 3D Hardware, I believe. It was you, Papa San, Admiral Bailey. Right. I remember that performance. So the shows coming in terms of the Sting and the in terms of the sound recording and those kind of things where the music is concerned. But then again, you met upon another stumbling block, that of skin cancer in the 80s. Tell us a little bit about how you handled that. How did that, you know, put another little spoke, if it did, in what you were trying to achieve?
Well, you know, after the surgery, you know, before the surgery and everything, you know, with the tour and coming, so nobody knew that me have the cancer.
Okay.
That is what me.
Right, right.
You know, because me used to feel the pain on the left side of the jaw. So, we never want to disappoint the fans
Right.
and the people.
So you still did your tour?
So we have to the 3-month tour
Right.
and due to the pain and the heart,
Wow.
the pain and things.
So while you were touring, you had pain
Yeah, man,
in
we have the
Right.
jaw and
Right.
yeah. But it never hurts yet.
Right.
But it's only agony pain.
Right, right.
So we just do the tour. After we done the tour, we tell the manager, say, look, you feel some pain or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, so why you never tell me?
Right,
Oh,
right.
that's not the tour. We say, that is what we never want.
Right.
Oh, no, that's why we never tell you. You don't give the man them to do.
Wow. Wow.
God, them leave, come back to Jamaica. God, the manager never want nobody know.
Right.
Either. Because not even Jamaica didn't know.
Right, right, right.
You know, the person didn't know is Margie
Oh.
on the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
So we just do the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But we do a long 24-hour surgery.
And because they had to remove.
And it worse, you know.
Right. So they had to remove.
You're right, you know. Because it damage
Right.
the jaw, you know, damage
Mm-hmm.
everything. So it have to remove. So the doctor says long 24-hour surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, why they never know me would have make it.
Mm-hmm.
True, because they never do a person a surgery like this
Before.
before so long, you know?
Right. 24 hours.
Yeah, so
Wow.
because when me find myself out of the surgery, it was a shock
Mm-hmm.
with me because me myself, me I think say me gone
Right.
in the next life.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when me come out of it now and jump up off of the bed, then all of the doctor them mold me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cause you know when somebody get lit down
Mm-hmm.
and it's like him in a coma,
Right.
you come out of them shock.
Shock, right, and start move about, right.
Yeah, so when me find myself out, me shock because I completely come off of the bed
Mm-hmm.
and they mold me and say, calm down, God. They hear them say that.
Right.
Then start telling me say it's a success. Then when we spend a liquor about a month, we spend in the hospital and the doctor then asked me if I want to reconstruct. And we say, then said to me, say, we're going to have me frank. It's going to be more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you not feel any pain,
You can stay.
you can make it. So I succumb me over
Okay. Do the reconstruction surgery.
No.
Right. How long did it take you to recover though? The healing process? You remember?
About a month.
A month.
Little over a month.
So after a month.
Near about month. Because me spend a month in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come out,
Mm-hmm.
then we stay with some friends in New Jersey.
Okay. And so you stayed away from music for that time until you were fully recovered?
Yeah, like the when we fully recovered, maybe like more than another month.
Mm-hmm. You started back with your music.
Yeah, but we never start back right away.
Right.
Because we are think, because when it slow down, my fans listen to me and think because they already get used to already it
Music before the surgery.
Right, so we come back with Blueberry.
Oh, okay.
So
that was your comeback song, Blueberry Hill.
right, that was it.
Comeback song.
Yeah.
King Yellowman.
Yeah.
How?
So we come back in a different style.
In a different style.
So it shocked everybody.
But that's what I wanted to ask. How did they receive you after the surgery?
Right, that's why I'm going to tell you that. You know, people are going and I say, well, I don't know, you know. You know Jamaica talk. So, me always I think, that's the reason why we live. We still live because when the doctor, because I told surgery doing.
Okay.
We do one in Germany. The doctor they said we're going to live, he said, 3 more weeks.
Wow.
And then the other surgeon now, the doctor said we're going to live, they say 3 more years.
Wow.
So after the blueberry, you know, the blueberry when we recover, so me say me want come in a different thing because Judge didn't feel time is gone now. Like him gone with different artists.
Right, he moved on.
Maybe him feel like me no come back. Everybody, when them start here, say me got cancer. Because gradually, the whole Jamaica start know.
Right.
So, everybody feel like, me not gonna make it.
Right.
Me gone. So, a lot of people who did have faith, they lose their faith.
They lose their faith in it.
Yeah. So, when we do blueberry now, it shocked the whole Jamaica. Everybody. Shocked everybody. People start going record store and buy the record and look.
To see that it was
you. For me.
Wow.
You know? Because nobody will believe for me. Because we start sing like an R&B artist.
Yes.
They know me as the cocky the you know, them type of slap this song there.
Right.
You know? So, when we come with the from my tree, shock.
Right.
Everybody stunned.
Right.
Because they don't believe. They might like tell the record store man them say, yeah, I am that. And the record man would have said, I won't hear Winston Foster. You know?
Right.
Because you know, they put your, for the wine, they put your real name.
Your real name.
And they put down at the bottom, they put
the alias.
the double Foster.
Wow. So, King Yellowman, King of Dancehall, tell me how you were ordained the King of Dancehall.
Well, people call me King of Dancehall all over the world. You know, because why the people have said that the King of Dancehall, Bob Marley, do it for reggae.
Right.
Bring reggae to the four corner of the earth. Me bring dancehall to the four corner of the earth. So everybody starts saying, king of the dancehall.
Right.
You
And
know,
it
including the radio man, them and so them always a talk, say, well, here comes the king of dancehall, you know.
right.
You know, when a DJ on the radio. You know, so.
And that stuck with you.
Right, I'm stuck with the people, you know.
Right, right. So after cancer, successful surgery, a successful hit, Blueberry Hill. What happened? What was Yellowman like?
After the Blueberry, you know, more hit song.
Right.
You know, like Lost Me Love one. Who can make me dance from? You know, cause Mr. Chin them are from Georgia time and, you know, Lost Me Love. But me come with like, read the budget and pass it cut it. That nation got that by my bone.
Right.
All of them tune them. Start come with Blueberry. Cause when Blueberry coming up, Fox that we know stunt, you know, and him come. And we do the show with him in Jamaica.
Right.
2 shows. Cause there's only 2 shows him come. To bring.
Right.
You do. So the ice cream place called Crazy Jim. Them are the people was the promotion. See, that show them sponsor him. Fats Domino.
Fats Domino,
They
right.
do a show in a national arena. They have Fats Domino. Only 2 shows. Him come with I would do one. In a man to go in.
So you were getting the hits and you were getting the tours. What about reaping the benefits? How, you know, how was that working? Because I remember that.
Before we answer that, when the tour start going and we do a show, part of it, one of the show we do in a master vineyard. You know that little island off the coast of America where all of the president, most of the president spend their vacation. You know? When we do the show there, after the show, when we finish the show, manager come and say, King, my fans want to talk to you. But me never know what you going to talk to me about. But me as a man, you know, me don't stop fans from come backstage.
Right.
Talk to me. When me look, he's one of the doctor, the head doctor, who did I lead the surgery, the second surgery, the one where say, we're going to live for the next 3 years. When they come and see me, it's not after 3 years.
Wow.
Long after 3 years. When they come and he look, it take a while to talk to them, because he stand up and look. Just a look on me and fool him and then, you know, how people would have them action when you know see them surprise and
I'm
then
surprised,
and
right.
then they didn't lead up and they didn't worry on me.
Because I can't believe that
and
you're
they worry
still
on me.
alive.
So when him start talking to me and say, first word him said to me, am I looking at a ghost?
Wow.
And I said, no, me. And he just give me a hug.
Wow.
And he said, sorry, I was saying that, you know, because, you know, it just said because the way you made it look
Right.
after the surgery, you know. but you know, my thinking is my healing. We never have death on my mind, you know?
Right. So your healing process started in your mind.
Yeah, man. God, you know, it's mind over matter.
Mind over matter. So true.
Yeah.
So true. King Yellowman. So the tours coming in, the hits, the admiration.
Yeah.
Did it pay off? How that part of it? I remember earlier I said rags to riches. You said you don't reach there, so right yet. Tell us about that, because you know, as we know your hits, we've seen Yellowman on the market, so we know what Yellowman had back then and what Yellowman has right now in terms of his lyrical.
Yeah, but if you say rich, you're right still, you know, because we're rich with music. You know, we're rich with resource, money and house and car and all them things there. We're rich with love and music.
What would you say would be one of the biggest issue in the music fraternity industry where that is concerned in terms of your work, and really see the material gain from your work, knowing that the work that you're putting out is
the work good enough.
Good.
The work good, but the producer is not good.
The work is good that you're putting out.
Yeah, man. The work is excellent. Because you can see it in the love from the fans and people. You know, so the work is good, but the producers and majority of the record company, they're not fair, you know?
Okay. When you say not fair, what do you mean? Like?
Only for rip-off. I've been rip-off by almost every record producer and company, not every one of them, most. You know, especially the Jamaican one,
Right.
criminals.
What would you say to producers in terms of the DJ craft and not being honest with, you know, how we engage the DJs? What would your advice be?
I don't have anything to say to know producer in Jamaica. Because 3/4 of them is criminal.
It's dishonesty in the
Yeah,
business.
only for dishonesty in the business.
How do as an
Even recently, my daughter, my children, them have to take over the management.
How can artists combat this? What do you think you can do to combat this kind of dishonesty in the business, if there is anything?
No, what the artists never do nowadays is not dealing with them again, because they've been known by the new artists. Then, if you notice, most of the young artists nowadays, they have been sued up in their backyard. You know?
Right.
And never do it themselves now. So, my children never do it now. They produce me. The last album I do had No More War, and they produce it.
Good. So the children taking over the business. All right, I hear you, King Yellow. Now, what is happening now with King Yellow is a different kind of climate we're living in, you know, the climate that is telling us that we entertain from our living room, or we entertain from one space, and the mass them of is signing virtually, and you know, what is happening with Yellowman now that we're now trying to adapt to this new type of climate? How does it impact your craft, what you're doing?
No, the only thing with it, which I understand, that when I see the audience, but we know the audience I watch.
Right.
So that's different. But it never come back, you know. You understand? The tour thing when come back. So we don't worry about that. We just do a streaming concert, same way.
Same way.
Because the fans them see the same way.
Great.
But the only thing they want to see it live because they used to be a run up and down and I jump up and down on stage. And I interact with them, shake them and help them, you know.
So that intimacy that you had with your
right.
You don't have that anymore.
No.
But you still give them the energy.
Yeah, because as I tell you, my thinking is healing. It's my healing. So because things that I'm there the same way.
Right.
So we did the same performance as well when they're there and when they do.
The energy is still there.
Yeah.
A lot of we have young people, males and females growing up, want to, not just the music industry, but want to branch off in certain type of career. And they have gone through similar upbringing like you, where people think they're less than and they can't. What would be your advice to them?
Well, first of all, we have to just tell them that they must learn from our mistake.
Right. So it's just learning from the mistakes of others. And motivation, because you motivated yourself growing up practically and steered your All right, King Yellow, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you. Your story is very powerful, and there is more, I'm sure, to tell because it has not ended.
What is more because but because you are out from the curfew. You are out from the curfew. My little youth are out from the curfew. Yeah, but me understand.
Right.
Don't worry about that. So there's always next time.
Exactly, and we have the contact.
Yeah, we have the
contact and we have the time. So, thank you so very much for sitting and talking with me.
Yeah, man,
and we appreciate it. We love it.
Yeah, and this is my daughter clothesline.
Oh, Zungo.
Zungo Zing.
Zungo Zing. Okay. All right. I should get one of that. It's a male and female clothesline. All right. Yeah, okay, so I need to get one next time. If you didn't tell me before, I would have made sure my well planned out, man, but you're just telling me the thing. This has been Designed to Inspire with your host, Charlene Clark. Thank you for viewing. We have had a powerful story from none other than King Yellowman. I hope you have learned. See you another time, same place, different story.
Thank you, listeners and viewers.
Blessings, King.
Every time.
All right.